So ICE just released this absolutely insane propaganda video with masked agents quoting the Bible while Johnny Cash plays in the background. But that's not even the craziest part of this recruitment drive. Because while they're making these creepy fascist recruitment videos, they're also stealing the cops who are supposed to help them. And now even Trump's biggest supporters are pissed off. So ICE needs to hire 10,000 new agents because of Trump's big beautiful bill, which gave them 170 billion over 5 years. So they launched this massive recruitment campaign with $50,000 signing bonuses, and they're using Uncle Sam as the recruitment tool. You know, the guy that tried to recruit everybody to go overseas to fight fascists? Now he's basically using them to recruit fascists. And guess what, guys? Your country is calling you to serve at ice.gov. In the wake of the Biden administration's failed immigration policies, your country needs dedicated men and women of ICE to get the worst of the criminals out of the country. All right, and here's a Trisha tweet. Terrorists, pedophiles, MS-13 gang members, murderers, rapists, drug traffickers, human traffickers. We need you to get them out. I love how they just copy and paste Trump's greatest hits of fear-mongering bullshit. It's like they have a random generator. Today's scary words are MS-13. Let's go with, we're trying to avoid Epstein scandal, but still going to say pedophiles, whatever. And terrorists, because apparently Nuance died back in 2016. Now, ICE can't do mass deportations alone. They need local cops. So they have these partnerships called 287G agreements, where local sheriffs train their deputies to help with immigration enforcement. All 67 counties, for example, in Florida signed up. So here's how the scam works. ICE provides the training curriculum, but the local departments pay for everything, the officer's time, the whole training cost. When these sheriff departments become ICE force multipliers, they do a lot of the work. Of course, ICE gets the credit. So everything's working great until ICE decided to send recruitment emails to these exact same deputies the local departments just spent their own money training, offering them $50,000 bonuses to quit their local jobs and join ICE directly. Think about that for a second. The sheriff departments paid to train these officers with their own budgets, our local taxpayer money. Then the federal government tries to steal them with bonuses the locals can't match. It's like if you paid to send your employee to college, then their professor offered them a job and said, bring everything you learned here. Oh, and while doing this, they're making propaganda videos where masked ICE agents quote Isaiah while flying helicopters in Johnny Cash's God's Gonna Cut You Down plays. Because nothing says Christian values like faceless federal agents with weapons. So let's check it out.
Here's Bible verse I think about sometimes, many times. It goes, and I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? And who will go for us? Roll through the long time, roll on through a long time, surely there. And I said, here am I, send me.
The Bible these masked agents are quoting literally commands believers to welcome the stranger and care for the foreigner among you. But apparently, reading comprehension isn't part of ICE training. So when they quote, here I am, send me, they're volunteering for the opposite of what Isaiah volunteered for. Isaiah was sent to protect people like the one ICE hunts. It's not just hypocrisy, it's biblical illiteracy adding weapons. But you know what? You don't need to be a biblical scholar to see that ICE's recruitment strategy is completely fucked. Even their biggest supporters are starting to figure that out.
Yeah.
Notice none of them want to show their faces.
Charlie, black and white, down, down, onto lies. You, one for lots, was, you lay back, you down.
But you know what? You don't need to be a biblical scholar to see that ICE's recruitment strategy is completely fucked. Even their biggest supporters were starting to figure that out, just like Sheriff Grady Judd here in Florida. So Sheriff Grady Judd, who is not some liberal, He's a hardcore conservative who's been helping ICE for years. Absolutely is losing his shit.
I know you had some strong words for the administration, specifically Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, saying you thought she should apologize. What would you like her to apologize for?
We're assisting ICE. Now, understand, we're a force multiplier to help ICE, and we've been spending a lot of time and effort. And the next thing we know, the people who we have submitted to ICE, who have been ICE trained on our dime, by the way, received a direct email from the administration.
I cannot believe this guy is surprised at anything this administration does. They're just laughing at you. Thanks for all the training, and make the states pay it so the federal government could be stronger and the states have less power. It's freaking easy to see where this is going.
In fact, from a Madison Sheehan, who is a deputy director, recruiting them. I mean, that's biting the hand that's feeding you.
As far as Kristi is concerned, we'll come back to biting the hand that's feeding you in a minute.
And I am angry. It tells me it lacks of professionalism. I mean, they speak. I've got this letter here when it says that, you know, we're committed to serving with integrity and professionalism. Well, I can tell you something. Madison clearly showed she has no integrity or no professionalism to actually directly email the people who work for us. Look, it's not.
So they're just going to take them off the street and then they have to replace those cops, the ones that are in our local communities, the ones that we actually rely on. So that's the new plan?
Not them matter that they're trying to hire people. We are all trying to hire people. It's the way that they did it that makes me so very angry.
Well, we at NBC asked them to respond. We asked DHS to respond to concerns like yours. And a senior official didn't directly address those concerns.
I'm sure they didn't. Let's hear this.
But I want to read part of what was written to us. ICE is recruiting law enforcement, veterans, and other patriots who want to serve their country and help remove gang members, child pedophiles, murderers, terrorists, and drug traffickers. I mean,
I'm pretty sure that's in every police officer's description on the planet.
you know, you read that, Sheriff. Sounds good, right? Who doesn't want to get rid of gang members and pedophiles?
Sounds like a bunch of fucking bullshit.
But is that what you see happening?
Well, Chris, we're all doing that. And the reality is, if our local law enforcement officers wanted to work for the feds, the opportunity has been there for a long time. And the reality, to me, of all of this is not that they're recruiting, it's that they used our data that we submitted to them in order to complete the paperwork to talk directly to our people. And
why are you surprised, bro? You're very dumb as well, apparently.
at the same time, they didn't send us out to the state level officers because they didn't want to make our governor DeSantis mad.
He's not thrilled either, by the way.
Governor DeSantis is leading the charge here. We are enforcing the rule of law.
That is completely incorrect. Check out my other videos, guys. If you guys are not believing this, you know, subscribe, like. This is where we're headed. It's a fascist state, no doubt.
I'll call Washington. He showed his displeasure with headquarters. Yeah, we'll go directly at the people that have been trained. So, yes, that's why we're angry. And it's not just me. It's all of the Florida sheriffs. We've all had conversations about this.
He also went on to say that Kristi Noem needs to get her big girl pants on and do what's right. Big girl pants? This 70-year-old conservative sheriff just told the Secretary of Homeland Security to put on her big girl pants like she's a toddler having a tantrum. So let's talk about this mastermind behind this brilliant strategy, Kristi Noem, the woman who thinks shooting dogs makes her tough and apparently thinks betraying your partners makes you smart. This is the same person who bragged about shooting her 14-month-old puppy because it wasn't good at hunting. You know, well, Kristi, your recruitment strategy isn't good at recruiting either. Perhaps we should get the shotgun. So actually, before we go get that shotgun, let's see how Kristi understands the Constitution that she swore to defend, because apparently shooting dogs is easier than reading legal documents.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem made headlines during her testimony to the Senate Homeland Security Committee Tuesday when she incorrectly answered what the fundamental U.S. right known as habeas corpus means.
So, Secretary Noem, what is habeas corpus?
Well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country.
Before she goes on a rant, she shouldn't have stopped her. She should have just let her keep rolling. I would just keep asking her questions. It's just like write down on a piece of paper wrong. All right, I'll correct her later, destroy her. She's a moron. That's what I would be doing. She shouldn't stop her right here.
Habeas corpus, excuse me, that's incorrect.
The concept of habeas corpus dates back to the Magna Carta. It is the right of prisoners to challenge their imprisonment, allowing them to ask a judge to issue a writ of habeas corpus, essentially a court order, demanding that whoever is detaining them prove in court that their detention is lawful. If a judge finds that is not the case, the prisoner must be freed. This right is explicitly granted in the first article of the Constitution, saying, quote,
Almost certain, yeah, she was. She was in Congress for a while. So are almost all of them lawyers? Isn't that I mean, how long is the Constitution? 40 pages max?
the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless when in cases of rebellion or invasion, the public safety may require it.
So you gotta be Trump. You have to declare emergency to get any of this shit to fly. So this moronic woman is basically saying the complete opposite of what it actually means. That's what she thinks. I mean, maybe that's what Trump told her. He whispered in her ear, and now that's what she believes, and throw everything else out the window. It's like saying freedom of speech means the government can silence you. The woman in charge of Homeland Security doesn't understand basic constitutional law. So when Sheriff Judd says he feels like biting the hand that feeds you, well, in Kristi's world, hands that get bitten get shot. Just ask her dog. But here's the thing, this isn't just incompetence, this is fascism, plain and simple. They're using the same money to monitor social media for dissent against their policies. So you can use hate speech all you want, that's your free speech right, but dissent against their hate, that gets you monitored and punished. They're literally building a surveillance state while stealing your local cops. Go fuck yourself if you think that's making America safer. And then here comes Ron DeSantis, another Trump ally, basically calling ICE's plan stupid.
Today, I was in the room with Governor DeSantis when he raised concerns about ICE poaching officers and deputies from the state of Florida. Across Central Florida, just about every sheriff's office and police department is currently hiring, with many significantly understaffed. Now, complicating this, the feds have started making offers to law enforcement to entice them to come work for ICE, which is undergoing a major expansion of its force. For Florida law enforcement, which has been required to work with ICE, the move by the feds to try and recruit officers and deputies from already understaffed departments now has the governor's attention, who on Friday raised concerns with what the move by ICE could mean for law enforcement agencies here in Florida.
And I know some sheriffs have had concerns, that's happening. It's like, hey, we've been doing all this stuff to help you guys, and now you're trying to poach our people who are already in the fight. Why not recruit additional people to be supplementing that instead of just kind of display?
I mean, I'm against this, but what the fuck? Literally. Here on the show, we're about honesty, so like and subscribe if you guys are following me so far. And DeSantis is right. This doesn't add a single new law enforcement officer to the country. It just moves them around while making local communities less safe. And this is going on across the country even before this. Remember, these local departments are already understaffed. The National Sheriff's Association, which represents 3,000 sheriffs, said this was inappropriate behavior of a partner organization, and they're sending ICE a very stern note. That's going to get shredded immediately by those guys. Kristi Noem doesn't even know how to read. A stern note, these are the people ICE needs to execute mass deportations, and ICE just pissed them off so badly, they're writing strongly worded letters. This whole scandal perfectly shows why Trump's deportation plan is really just a fascist movement. They can't even manage their own recruitment without alienating their biggest supporters. So they spend billions on propaganda videos and recruitment campaigns, but they're so desperate and disorganized that they're stealing from their own partners instead of actually finding new people. And while they're playing these games, real communities lose cops, domestic violence calls go unanswered longer, drug dealers get more time to operate. actual crime goes up. Also, ICE can hit some arbitrary hiring number and Trump can tweet about how tough he is by making America less safe. It's incompetence wrapped in cruelty, managed by people who shoot dogs and don't understand the Constitution. So next time when you see one of these creepy recruitment videos with masked agents quoting the Bible, just remember they're not coming just for immigrants. They're coming for your cops too. The only way to fight back against this authoritarian bullshit is to stay informed and make sure other people actually know what's happening. So if this episode opened your eyes to how they're making America less safe while claiming to protect it, hit that subscribe button. Share this with someone who needs to see it, because the more people who understand how broken and dangerous they're creating of a system, the harder it becomes for them to get away with it. I'm Ernie Coles, and I'll keep breaking down their lies as long as they keep telling them. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
You built your throne on fake gold, fake stats, fake pride. Now the whole world's watching you crash from inside. Talk big, but your walls made of lies and tweets. I'm the voice of the people, bringing fire to the seats.